Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. Hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the black pieces against a 1945 from India. Let's go for the Scandinavian today. We've been playing the modern a lot, so we'll see what happens with this. They go for the main sort of line with knight c3. And there are millions of ways you can play this, to be honest. They take, which is a bit of a surprise from someone this high rated, because we are getting up there a bit now, and we know what we're doing here. It's tempting to go bishop g4 first. I think that's still fine. You probably can. I think the computer does tend to call it an accuracy, not that it particularly matters, and they are playing this one a bit safe. Let's claim the center. We might as well. They clearly don't want it. And yeah, we can play like an f6. Probably better to play a bishop f5. Look for some potential forks. But like we said, these guys are playing super conservatively today. Which is what people, and to be fair, I did this as well. I don't like playing against the Scandi. I find it very annoying. So I tend to play d3 as a move against the Scandinavian. It's sort of what they want, what black wants if you play d4. It's not a bad move. It is the computer move. But it gives black something to poke at, you know. You've made a commitment in the center. And it gives black something to poke at, which is what they sort of want. b3 is interesting. b3 is interesting because I want my queen on d4 here, hitting this rook. They're going to have a hard time. They're going to play rook b1 in order to cover that. And it's just, I think, nice-ish for us. And this is the downside of playing d3 as well. You don't have this this structure in the center, you know. So you're letting me have a bit of free reign here. I wonder if knight d4 is a viable play. The problem is, they can just ignore it, and we can't really do anything. I guess we could take the light squared bishop if we wanted. It can't really go anywhere, which would be good for us, I think. We could play an f6 after queen takes just to secure the center a bit, and castle either way. If knight takes, queen takes, rook b1. The question is, what do you do after that? You know, you've got the rook on b1. The bishop's coming to b2 either way, so I guess you just play an f6 and hope. You know, and then you've got to start worrying about these light squared weaknesses as well. So I don't know if that's actually a good play or not. I'm tempted to castle kingside. Usually my go-to is a queenside castling in the Scandi, just because you get the rook on the open file. No, let's castle queenside. Let's castle queenside. I think they're not wanting to play for a fight, so we need to make the most of every little bit of space we can. And I think you do that by queenside castling, to be honest. We're going to play an f6, I think. And we can start some kingside pushes. You know, we've got nothing to lose in the center, really. We could consider a bishop b4 here, and then go after the center, but I don't think the pawn is worth sacrificing the piece and opening up our king, to be honest. I think we just start on the king side. You know, they're not doing anything really. We're fully developed pretty much. I'd like this bishop a bit better. I'd be happy with central trades, to be honest. Like we said, I think our pieces are better. This bishop's looking at this pawn if they ever decide to push, which is good for us. Their dark squared bishop is fully boxed in, also good for us. So yeah, I think we're okay with that. Let's... G5's a risky push. I think we do it, though. I think we do it. It's weakening this structure a bit. You know, if they take, this bishop's going to be quite strong against this. They go for c4. That doesn't seem right at all to me. It doesn't really seem right at all. The question is, where do we go with our queen, though? We've got two options, really. I don't want to go here or here. Or here, obviously. Or out this side too much. I guess we have a few options. So our options are here, 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 or here. This is good because you're looking at the bishop. You're looking at a sack on h3, which is good. The problem is you can get hit a bit with this knight. It could be a bit tricky, potentially. Here is a bit more out the way. You're still potentially getting a bit hit with the knight. But it is a bit more flexible in order to double up with the rooks. Also good. I don't think we go to g8. So it's between these two, really. And I think I prefer this one. It's a bit closer to the action when they finally decide to break in the center. There is some potential pin problems, but I think we're probably getting there first on the king side, to be honest. My humble opinion, but we will see. We will see, definitely. They break in the center. I don't think that's a good move. I think we're just too developed, right? Takes, knight takes, bishop takes. Knight takes, bishop takes. I mean, c5, right? With the pin on the queen. I think this is just good for us. I think this is just good for us. Knight takes. Yeah, I mean, this pin's terrifying, to be honest. Does c5 not just win a piece? Is my question. I think it could. I don't see why it doesn't. We've got to be a bit careful about opening up our king too much, but I think for the piece, probably worth it, right? Probably worth it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just don't think that was a good pawn break, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit late. Queen a5 is interesting, looking for the king weaknesses. But we do have this this retreat over here as well, if we absolutely need it. We have to take the bishop, right? I mean, we've opened our king. We need the reward from it. We really do. And that's really the only way to get it. I don't think there's any tactics we're missing, which is good. They go for that. And do we do the retreat now or later? We could go as far as d3. But we don't want to be giving this bishop tempos with the hit on the b pawn as well. I think we could. I think we could get away with this. It's risky though. And they've got the triple connected passes. That's something to behold. That is something to behold. d3, bishop there, bishop there. I mean, it's a thing, right? It's a thing they can do. Oh, rook there is annoying. Rook there is really annoying. I think we might start the king run. What have we got? Rook takes, king e8, rook takes, bishop takes. And we just go up to f7. Oh, we have queen takes as well. Is something we have to think about. We could go bishop e4, bishop c6. But then we have these bishop problems. I don't like them. We could try trade queens off. Is forcing the queens off, no? That is forcing the queens off. The queen has nowhere to go. Let's do that then. I think that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. And we're still holding this central pawn as well. We'll pre-move takes because we have to. And we're running low on time, but I think that was a good use of time. I think that was a good use of time. We found the right move. Well, what I think is the right move. And we can start pushing, I guess. That's a bit of a tricky trap. Let's push a d3. Push our advantage. We want to make the most of it. We'll get this rook in the game. We'll get doubled up. And we'll try push this pawn to promotion, I guess. Is the way we're going to play it. Is the way we have to play it, I think. We can't take this pawn, I'll point out, because of rook c1 pinning. b4, nasty stuff. We give back our material. So bishop f3 is the only move here. We can think about a g4, bishop c6, king c7. Seems okay, right? Seems okay. Seems okay. And with king c7, we can think about potentially taking, but I don't think that works immediately. Bishop a7 can't work, I don't think. There's no world in which that works. Rook e1 is interesting, but I think rook e8 is fine. Yeah, they go there, and I think a king c7 is fine here. Getting off the back rank. As long as we're stopping bishop b7, we're good. We can think about pushing again. Or we can think about rook d5. Or we think about pushing. I do like pushing as a move. I think that kills a lot of their play with threat of bishop c2 immediately. Yeah, they go there just to prevent bishop c2. But now we can just go rook d4, right? Rook d4, hitting the pawn. Takes bishop c2. They go there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go there. Rook d8, we need to really speed up here. They can't move this rook. They can't really move this rook. They could if they wanted to. Ah, that's a problem. Yeah, we didn't see that one. I'm going to sack the exchange. I think the bishop pair is more powerful against with the pass pawn. To be honest. Yeah, rook takes d2 is interesting. Let's push this. I like. This is super interesting. I love it. Yeah, and take this pawn. Trapped rook. Bishop g4 as well. We're up 2 points of material. And then we promote. Get that off. We're winning. We're winning. Folks, we are winning. Boom. Oh, no. They had moves. They had moves. We're good. We're good. Surely we're all good. It might be a bit longer of a checkmate, but we are good. There we go. We are good now. We're definitely good now. There we go. Finally. Took a minute. We're good, though. That was nice. Too low on time to seriously analyze it, to be honest, but I think we played that okay. Apparently we got a brilliancy. 90% accuracy. 90% accuracy. Where did that brilliancy come from? You reckon it was the rook sack? Or the exchange sack? 90% accuracy is amazing. If we didn't mess up that endgame, I'm sure it would have been higher as well. 82.9 versus 90.4. 2400 versus 2050. 100% opening accuracy. I hope we do. And you see here, this is the best move. I'm sure it calls this good or something. Or inaccuracy. Inaccuracy, yeah. It doesn't make any difference. If you want to do that, you can. Especially at the lower ratings. In fact, at the lower ratings, I'd even recommend this. It gets trappy a bit quicker, especially if they end up playing d4. It often transposes, but you see you can get some very quick pressure on this. Anyway, bishop f5 is the way to go. You can go g4, but you're not pinning anything anymore. That's the whole purpose of bishop e2. Bishop e4 just puts more pressure on c2. You've got forks coming. It's just nicer. E3, d3 is the way to play it. Apparently, very conservative. You're trapping your bishop in. You've got no central control. You're controlling 2 whole squares. Wow. And you can develop this bishop, but especially after like an f6, it's limited. You've got 2 squares. But it's solid at the same time. Like I can't really attack this unless you break as white. So yeah, bishop e7, okay, castles, and then this fianchetto idea I never really like against the Scandi. You want to be launching these pawns forward as quickly as you can. Want to get this bishop to e3. Again, looking at these pawns, I'm castling queenside for sure. Castling queenside. Then you can get this queen in, then you can get this rook in, and all of a sudden you've got a very devastating attack, and it saves you from having to defend my attack, basically. And this brick wall is not going anywhere. So what is your bishop really doing on these squares? I don't know. Queen d2, never really a good move, simply because of the pin. E4 is there immediately. If I want it. Apparently not even the best move. But you can see the idea. Takes, and then my rook's there as well. Takes, and then I take the bishop. So it's just not good for you. I think you're just down a piece here. Okay. The best move was g5, apparently. Sure. Sure, I'll take your word for it. Rook ad1 is interesting because you're giving up your attack on the queen side rather than moving your f rook in, but I guess that's doing a bit more of a defensive job. Not quite sure. We start pushing some pawns. c4's not good. I mean, it looks like you're making progress, but realistically, you're just securing this outpost of d5 for me. Yeah, is more locking up the pawn structure than actually breaking it open, I think, which is not what you want. Like, you can't be letting me just roll you on the king side. You need to be taking charge of it, and it comes, I think, from c3 if you really want to break open the position. Apparently the best move is just d4 straight away, even. And I guess I've got the pin here with the queen. So there it is, I guess. But yeah, c5 just deletes your chance of ever breaking in the center, basically. And we saw that d4 here just loses a piece. There's nothing else to say, In fact, you've done me a favor by playing c4, because I was able to move my queen from the rook, so the rook is directly hitting your queen. So yeah, queen a5 is a nice try. Very interesting attempt to drum up some counterplay against a weakened king. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work. I take with the rook, apparently, is the best move. I guess just trading off more pieces and sort of keeping the pawn structure where I want it. Queen a7 forces the queen off. You've got a bit greedy with the pawns there. You probably have to play it a bit slower. I'm not sure. Bishop f3 or something. But yeah, I don't know what you do here, to be honest. Rook fe1, just hitting the queen with a discovered attack, I guess. Like a queen c6, not queen c6. In fact, what do I do here? Queen d7? No, best move. What is it? Show me. Oh, threaten queens off. But then queen takes a7 is interesting. Oh, but then king d7? Blunder. Duh, yeah. Oh, and then you go queen c5. Trading off queens with the bishop. Ah, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Queen a6 forces queens off. And this should be relatively trivial to win. This bishop's just horribly placed. It's got no squares at all. It can only go to A there. Pawn push. Rook d4, hitting this pawn. And you had to play this, don't get me wrong. This is a good move from them, stopping c2. But then I can infiltrate. I walk into this one. I will admit I walk into this one. But I think the bishop pair, and the computer agrees, the bishop pair's worth more than the single rook. With this destructive pawn here, this monster of a pass pawn, it's extremely scary stuff. All I need to do is a bishop c2 or a bishop g4, and yeah, I'm getting that material right back. Plus, I am already up a piece as well, so yeah, a5 is a good idea. Just open up the position, get this bishop out. h3, I'm just, where's this rook going? Where is this rook going? I would even consider. I don't even know what I would consider, to be honest. I thought of something in the game. I've completely forgotten it. But we trade off. Promote a pawn. We don't need to promote a pawn, but we can. Mess up a queen and rook endgame. And then, yeah, I'm not sure why I went here either when this is mate. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Good game. Fun game. I liked it. Nice cheeky brilliancy as well. From a mistake, which is always good. Two ends of the spectrum there. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye-bye.